As the world crumbles, the windows shatter and the globe turns, QTVNickBro from his nuclear bunker in Kiev talks with his guest of the day. I'm Vitalia, and here's QTV.
Thank you, Vitalia. Hello all, QTV here, and welcome to ATWC. I hope you're having a great day. If you enjoy what I do, then please subscribe to this video and like to this channel to see more crap that nobody needs. Anyway, now let me begin with the backstory for today's guest, which, as usual, begins with me. Like everything in this world, it began when I was 11, I think. I don't actually remember exactly, but whatever. At the time, I was into gaming, including retro gaming. And I remember how I would open Microsoft Paint and I would just copy-paste pictures of various game consoles and like video games from Wikipedia. And the games weren't even like the biggest like hitters ever. Or then like the Mario games, like the basics. They were just games based off stuff like that, I at the time liked, like Home Alone. And I called that masterpiece of a drawing my game collection. I made several, actually. Now, what kind of autism I had is still unknown, but what I do know is that I still enjoy gaming, including retro gaming. And so when I heard about a certain website called consolevariations.com, when I was about 14, I was instantly hooked to this website. The principle to this website is very interesting. It's made to catalog various variations of game consoles, from different sticker on the front to a completely different shell. It's all here. And before that, there was no such place for such things. I think. Actually, no. But it was revolutionary in the way it provided this information. And since then, the website evolved. One of the new features that was added later were blogs. And I decided to, at the time, to start writing a series of blogs on there dedicated to gaming in the territories formerly occupied by the Soviet Union. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really like how I wrote them, in a way. Not just because of my current politics or whatever, but also because I think I could have written it better. Heck, I even put some info from other places there in some spots. It makes me a bit cringe. But I also don't want to be mean, because I know that people actually loved it, which I was surprised about, and for which I'm still thankful about. Thank you. And I've talked about this already in the final blog of that series, but I just wanted to mention it. And as such, in the end, about this, even though I wish I could have written it in a different way, on the other hand, it was still, one of the big writing things I did. I think maybe even kickstarted my passion to write in general, which is something I still do and I do often. And so in that regard, I actually kind of like it as well. But yeah, but whatever, you're probably wondering now, how did it get to that point? Well, it's simple. At the time, I was hanging out in the consolevariations.com Discord server. And in it, the admin of the website proposed anyone, to write a blog. And of course, I was interested. In fact, I think I was the only one who ended up writing for it. But yeah, that's how I really got a blog series there. And of course, to upload it to the website, I had to talk to the admin himself, who is here with us today. Please welcome the founder and head of consolevariations.com, Don. Say hi, Don.
Hey, man. It was a great introduction. Thank you. I feel honored.
No problem. I'm glad to have introduced it that way. So, to listeners, who watch this? To listeners, what can the usual question is, can you tell us about yourselves? What do you do?
So yeah, my name is Don or Donnie, but yeah, Don is shorter, so I'll stick it with that. I created console variations a long time ago, but it was very amateuristic. Everything was on there manually. There was no account registration. There was nothing. So years ago, I can't remember how many years, but there was a forum called N64 Forever, and it was dedicated for Nintendo 64 consoles. And on there, I posted a topic about how many N64 variations are there in the world. And the topic became pretty popular, right? A lot of replies, and there was one specific guy. He was called Darklink on the forum, and he replied like, "What is a variation? Like, what does it count if it has a sticker, or is the box different?" And I just said, "Yeah, sure. Everything that is different to the regular version counts as a variation." So he went on research, and I went on research, and back in the days we had Skype and TeamSpeak. We talked about different variations and the hunt to find new boxes, and eventually we made a website. The website was very amateuristic. Everything was there manually. People had to submit variations via email, and we had to add them manually, which was a huge pain in the ass. But after a while, we started investing into a better website where we don't have to do stuff manually. And yeah, eventually the console variations that is online right now is, it was born. And yeah, it was pretty good. It's a big success, a giant community. We have a Discord server, as you said. We have people who write blogs. You are one of them. You are very important, actually, in this case, because thanks to you, I know about the gaming in the Soviets, or post-Soviets, about what you call the Dandy and the Super Bitman. Super Bitman was one of them, and I think the Bitman was like the Sega, and the Dandy was like the Nintendo clones. It was super interesting.
Yeah.
Or more. Yeah, sorry, just doing this on top of my head, but yeah, there's so much details, and I love it.
Yeah, it's okay.
And the site became so popular and well known. Even we had some, special limited editions we posted on there, and only on there. Is we decide to make it even more better, which will be released soon. We call it CV 3.0, and it will look more refreshed. Everything will be faster. There will be more stuff that people were asking for, like a dark mode, for example. And everything will be so much better. We will have over 200 new features on the site. Will be on a new site. And you know what? I will share it with you after this call.
Sure. Why not? Not against it. Wow, that is quite the story there. I had no idea that console variations actually started from such roots. Pretty interesting. Thank you.
No worries.
So, as you mentioned, the website it was way different than what it is now. What were like some other challenges that the website faced in its early days, other than like the email stuff you mentioned?
Well, so as you might have known, the current CV or the new website has a button called add new variation, where you can upload your pictures and upload some information and where it's from, and we can approve them, and then it's on the site, right?
Yep.
But back then, that system didn't exist. There was no accounts thing made. There was nothing. There was no search bar. There was nothing. Everything was on there. Like, if you wanted to submit, let's say, the Dandy, you had to email us, and we had to put it on the site manually on the, in this case, Famicom page, without any pages and without any search bar. So we just replied them back like, okay, it's on the site now. But it took like 15 minutes per variation, and we got like 6 a day. So eventually we just gave up. It's like, okay, screw it. We're gonna invest some money and we hire a web developer and we'll make everything custom. And it works very well. And I'm very proud of what they did.
So someone else made like the website for you afterwards.
Yeah. We hired a party called Yuka. It's a Dutch company, a small company. It was a friend of mine.
Oh.
And we created the entire site from scratch. And but now they join us. We are working together on the new website as well.
Nice.
And it'll be so much better than what we had.
Oh, that's nice. So you know, so you don't know much in terms of HTML, CSS, stuff like that, do you?
A bit, but we are more about the ideas.
Oh.
Like we have an idea, which is pretty nice, I guess, and then we ask our developers, like, "Can you make this for us?" And they're making this for us.
Oh.
Also another thing about the older the very first website that we had. The very first website, we only had 6 brands. There was Nintendo, Atari, Sega, Sony, Microsoft, and then Neo Geo. And now we have 12 brands. And when we launch the new site, it will have another brand added to it.
Oh, nice. I actually remember those times when they were on like 6 brands. I think they added, you added Bandai, Neo Geo, and yeah. I remember that actually. Wow.
Yeah, we added this on the new site.
Yeah. This is the fun part because, even though I'm asking you questions, about this, I myself remember kind of, because, of the Supok stuff, as I mentioned. So I kind of am part of CV as well, you could say, in that way. That's fun. Anyway, now the website became very famous in the gaming community, you could say, I suppose. And with that, you even yourself were here and there. And I remember people make games, YouTube channel. Sorry.
Yeah, I know them. They're good friends of ours, yeah.
Yeah,
good people.
Nice chaps. And they made a video about, okay, everyone saw this anyway, Golden V. And in it, they were in your house, and they showed your apartment. It was like full of like consoles and stuff.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and can you tell us about them? What consoles do you have in your collection?
What consoles do I have in collection? Well, if I have to tell you all the stuff that I have, then this podcast will take another few days. I'm not really a type that shows off on social media about what I have, but I have a few unique pieces in my collection. Usually, a game room is full with games, closets, walls. It's full with games, and so mine's full with consoles. Everything boxed pretty next to each other. So if you want to know what I have a full set of Nintendo Switches.
Oh wow!
So every Switch, yes, I have every Switch. I have every GameCube, all the colors, including all the controllers of the GameCube, and also all the Nintendo 64, all the consoles. And my favorite, but it's very obscure, it's Nintendo 64 DD or Disk Drive, which was only available in Japan. I'm trying to collect as much as possible regarding that. But what I want to collect is I want to collect stories. For example, right? You have the Famicom.
Yep.
But also you have the ROM for the Famicom, right? So it's and you have the disk drive, and then you have the ROM, stack up and Jaromite. So I want all that says, so I can tell a story with everything together. So basically, that is what I collect. I have a few rarities, like extremely rare items. If you like a GameCube prototype console and a Xbox that was only released 5 in the world, which is now signed by the entire dev team of Rare.
Oh wow!
And an N64 from A&A Airlines with a shipping box, which is also extremely rare. some
Wow.
rare editions from China, like an IQ system. Yeah,
Those systems.
a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, those systems must cost a lot. They probably have like high security in your apartment or something.
They indeed cost. They are costing a lot. Yeah, I don't want to talk about prices,
Of course,
but yeah, they cost a lot.
It's
I also, because I worked together with museums back in the days, unfortunately, with the museum is now closed, but I own a lot of kiosks as well. The big cabinets that were used to be shown in stores.
Yep. All right. It's actually kind of ironic that you have a console from the company Rare that is, well, rare.
Yeah, it's pretty ironic. It's also one of my favorite consoles of all time because there's
It is. Oh.
the Xbox from Rare Replay. That's I think one of my favorite consoles.
That's nice. And also, you mentioned that you have the whole Nintendo Switch collection. And it's a console that is still out, still released. So I suppose that every time there's a new console, you automatically spend €300 on one, right?
Unfortunately, yes. The only down part in collecting Switches is there's one Switch which I do not like at all. But you want the collection complete, so you still buy it. So it's...
Yeah, this is like the thing about collecting, I guess. If you want like a whole library of a console, you have to buy those sport games nobody cares about.
Yep.
It costs especially like the games which are like they're like crap, like let's say Action 52, but they're like super rare, but you have to buy them. It's an answer. Who cares? Okay.
It's funny when I started collecting. And it was some time ago. After everyone knows where Action 52 fame came from, right? It's from the Angry Video Game Nerd. Everyone knows about it. He also inspired me to, collect consoles a bit. But I owned a copy of Action 52 once. I owned it, and it was pretty cool. Back in the day, it was still cheap, but it's one of those obscure, crappy games. It's with a funny story behind it.
Yeah, and thanks to AVGN, it's not like expensive, right? Like very expensive.
Yep.
Oh, that's like the classic YouTuber curse. They review a thing that's either like super cool or like super crap, but like still notable, like X52, and then it becomes popular, and the price goes down. I mean, down, up, until it's like skyrockets in value. But interesting.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And a great example is the McDonald's DSi.
Oh yeah.
You know it, right?
Yep. Of course.
No one gave anything about it. Like let's say 4 years ago, I bought mine for $99.
Oh.
I don't want to talk about values of money, but the funny thing is I bought it for $99, and after it came to a video of the Did You Know Gaming, and after what was his name, Jim Robinson?
Nick Robinson.
Yeah, Nick Robinson, sorry. Made a review about the game and everything, and that one blew up, and it has like 7 million views, and now everyone wants to have this console because they want to be a part of the storyline.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting human phenomenon because people, they feel like they want to be a part of this, as you mentioned. But this is really, can you really be part of a story then? That's a philosophical question, I guess. If you own something, I guess you can be maybe in some parts. Not so much with Nintendo DS, but I guess depends on a variation. And speaking of those, which one is your favorite?
Which is my favorite variation of all time.
Yep, like of all time.
Of all time.
Difficult question.
Well, what a question. on CV, we have like 10,000 variations, so to pick one out of there, it's quite difficult. But honestly, even though 99% of my collection is Nintendo, my favorite one has to be the Xbox One from Rare.
Of course, yes.
Not only does it look pretty, right? It's gold with blue, which is a nice color combination, but it's signed by the entire team of Rare.
That's the thing, right?
So it's a personal thing.
Yeah, it's pretty epic to have like all these people. Like, did Kirk Stanhope sign it as well? You know him, right? He composed music for Rare, I believe.
Who was it? Sorry.
Kirk Stanhope, I think that's his name. I actually forgot. He actually
Oh, yeah.
Did he sign it?
Yeah. Grant Kirkhope. Yeah, he left Rare. He left Rare for Playtonic, I believe, but it was long ago. And after that, I went to the UK to be invited by Rare for a tour. But when that happened, he already left the company, unfortunately.
I see. Okay then. Okay. That's actually that's like actual like gold on it, like this Xbox, like actual 24 karat gold. We're talking about here. It's made of like that material, right?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question?
Is it made out of like actual like gold, like real gold?
Oh no! It's not. It's just a print.
It would be funny. Probably very heavy too. Like the weight of that metal is obviously very. What am I saying? Obviously it's heavy. Anyway, well, of course, since I mentioned this already, I could not ask a question. But I was watching recently Charlie Brooker's Weekly Vibe. You heard of him, right? He made Black Mirror.
Charlie?
Did you?
No, sorry, I don't know him.
Well, he's a pretty cool guy, and he used to make this series called Weekly Vibe, in which like every week he looks at like entertainment and everything really. And he was like commenting, like reviewing like this news report from at the end of like I think the first episode of the first season. There's a news report about Prince Henry in Afghanistan, back when he served in Afghanistan. And during like one of the segments, like him showing like how he lives there and stuff, they showed him playing a PlayStation 3. I think it was like a slim model or something. I don't remember. But he joked that about how like how he wasn't playing the Golden Wii, and of course, you own the Golden Wii. So tell us about it. For those who, for some reason, did not watch the absolutely just great like video about it on People Make Games, tell them, how did you get it?
Oh man, so yeah, the Golden Wii was quite an adventure, right? I think honestly the website got known because we owned it. Just for the record, I purchased it as a collectible, not as an, make it famous kind of thing. So the Golden Wii, do you want me to tell the story or how I got it?
How you got it? I think all of you. Well, I mean,
right.
Actually, I can tell the story myself. So what happened was this THQ, famous company, SpongeBob video games and stuff. They wanted to. They made this game. It was happy, some party game about horses and whatever. And they made a special promotional V made out of gold. And they sent it to the royal family, but they rejected it, and yeah, antics ensued. So now, how did you get it? That's the question.
So when THQ got bankrupt in France, I believe, or in the UK, THQ or HQ in UK somewhere, there was a guy from a forum which doesn't exist anymore, but the forum was called Assembler Games.
Oh yeah, famous one.
It's a very obscure forum with with people with development kits and prototypes and dumping and all kinds of niche stuff. But it was a very nice and active forum. Anyways, a guy there made a huge investment and purchased every hardware that was left in the THQ office in the UK or France or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And so he purchased a lot of, server blades and dev kits and all kinds of hardware, and that Wii was included. And I'm not sure if he knew if it was, because he was asking on the forums if it was the Golden Wii or not. But I knew that it was the Golden Wii. If it was fake or not, I don't know. And then he showed me pictures of every side, and then I saw the red part on the serial number that was glued on the pillow, and it matches exactly with the original Wii. So I purchased it from him via Assembly Games, and that's how I got it.
Wait, how do you purchase stuff on forums? Do you like?
I just did a. Yeah, I just PayPal, just a PayPal transaction.
Oh, and he sent it to you by post, I presume.
Yeah, he sent me by post.
From where?
Just a regular mail to my home, of course.
You're in the Netherlands, and I suppose he was in the UK, right? Where the offices were. And so he sent it for several countries, which is interesting. I'm asking this because usually, this is kind of a meme, how usually stuff like this doesn't survive the post because, they do all kinds of crap with your package. They throw it around and, and you have to make sure you package it very well so that it won't be, instead of being a Golden Wii, it becomes a broken Golden Wii. That's crazy.
Yeah, I told him to really pack it well. So let's just leave it at that. And everything went well. There was no nunchuck, which was it didn't have it, and it's probably gone with the history of gaming, I guess, because it wasn't discovered ever since. Yeah, big rip.
What if, so he got it in a job lot, a big lot of office for a bulk.
That's what I heard, yes. I forgot his username, but maybe he got it like this, yeah.
Huh, well, what if, so I presume it was all packaged maybe in much different boxes, and maybe the box that had the Wii had other stuff in it. And so my theory is, what if...
Could be.
Yeah, what if in one of these boxes, or he has the nunchuck. What if he accidentally still owns it, or maybe he sold
that could be
boxes to others, and now they have the golden nunchuck. I don't know. And now we're just discussing this, and they're out there not have it there, and they don't know it. Interesting theory.
It could be. I did ask around, and of course it was nowhere to be seen. I even asked it around when People Make Games made an interview. I even asked there, hey, is someone in the community, if someone has the nunchuck, I wish to buy it or something like this, but no one came around.
Yeah, the nunchuck will probably cost a lot. However, maybe even more than the Golden Wii, actually.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, it's pretty rare.
Maybe. I did sell the Golden Wii, though. So now it isn't my problem anymore. I sold it, yeah. It was actually a year ago.
I thought it didn't. I thought it had some problems selling it.
So first I put it on eBay for a ridiculous amount. And I knew it was a stupid amount. I knew that it would never get sold for, of course. But hey, if someone did, well, GG, it's fun. But also because eBay is free, and I put it on there, and I put my website there, so basically it's free promotion.
Nice.
And it absolutely blew up. And
of course it did.
I'm not saying it's went way more than People Make Games. It had way more traffic than that. I got calls from all over the place. I got 4 interviews a day when trying to sell this thing. 4 interviews a day, and even my work was pretty pissed. You have a call again? It's yeah, sorry. I mean, it's CNN. They're calling me.
CNN.
So yeah, I had an interview with CNN interviewed me, and BBC as well. So congratulations, your podcast is now officially CNN.
Yeah.
Here, CNN here.
Wow. And so you had some problems. You couldn't sell it for obviously a ridiculous price. Nobody bought it, and the listing.
No, nobody bought. I received over 950 offers via eBay,
How much?
and over 950 offers I
Wow.
received via eBay.
That's
Yeah, a lot. So it works, But then I made a deal with Golden Auctions, which is a North American auction site, not with what you call it, the other auction site.
uh, there's all of them. I mean, there's this one. I mean, the gaming ones. I think there's one gaming one. Wata. Yeah.
Yeah, Heritage. That's the one.
Heritage. Yeah.
Not via Heritage. I called Heritage about the Wii, and they were interested. However, it's not retro enough for them.
Oh.
So then I called Golden Auctions, which were not specialized in games, but more in memorabilia and expensive cards and stuff. And they did wanted to sell it, just a try. The only condition was I had to send the Wii to them for the professional pictures, and it was very scary. And that's because you have to send a Wii to anywhere. But everything turned out well. They made the pictures, they sold it on the site, they promoted it as they promised, and they did a good job. And eventually, it was sold, and someone else was very happy with it.
Oh wow! How much did you sell it again? Did you not say? Or is it
so? Because the auction is public, I can tell you how much it was sold for. So it was sold for $36,000.
Oh wow! And you got that money, I presume.
Yeah, I got it. It was a direct transfer, no PayPal fees or anything. It was all well done. So yeah, it was a nice sale,
And you're now
and that
swimming
money is
in cash.
well, swimming is a big word. I want to, as promised on the auction of eBay, I wanted to buy an apartment for myself. I'm still looking for it. I put some money aside, and I reinvested a lot of that money back in CV.
That's awesome. This is a success story, and all because of a golden V. wait, was it you actually golden? Like made out of gold, or am I fool again?
Yeah, it was gold plated.
Wow. So it was like heavier.
But people are buying stuff, like people are buying rare consoles for a story, right?
Yeah.
That's what makes it worth.
Yeah.
You can buy a console worth, one of a kind, which was a prize on Twitter, for example, and yeah, it's worth quite a lot of money, but in the end, it's just an Xbox being spray painted, and it's very limited, but it's a story that makes people want to buy it. And the Golden Wii is one of those prime examples of having a good story, where you can ask, well, people would really want that console because it has a great story.
Yeah, there's no other story like it. This is really a unique case. Who ever sent a console to a royal? Actually, I think. Wait, no, I think no. I was about to say how I think the Queen does have a Wii. The royal family does, but I think it's just I misremember the video by People Make Games because again I prepared in advance, watched the video. They mentioned how they probably have a plain one, but I think thinking about if they did have a Wii, they would have a plain one. It doesn't mean that they had a Wii. Or maybe they did. I don't remember. Okay, if our listeners in the comments will tell us if it's true and I'm just misremembering. Or actually no, I will after this podcast I'll look it up and edit it in the video on screen text, the classic YouTube shtick. And I guess that cut off traffic into the website. And did it make any what were difficulties? I mean, that's not the word. How difficult is it to run consolevariations.com, especially with now all this attention you have?
First, it was extremely difficult because a few members from TV uploaded new variations every day, and we had to check them and we had to approve them every day. And but eventually, things get automated and things will be easier. So it brought a lot of calm and automation to the site. And then we have mods who does stuff for us, which are great people. So kudos and credits to them. But now, yeah, we had to make a stop to the add variation page because if we had a time where we had to approve 30 new 30 new variations a day.
Wow.
Which is a lot. And because we are working on the new website, and I'm working next to this, it was a bit much. It was a bit too much, so we had to put a stop to the add variation button on the site. But yeah, in I think 2 weeks when a new website goes live, these new submissions will be open again, and then yeah, people can go full time on it. I don't mind. They can upload 1,000 a day. I don't really mind.
Nice. Wait, and you said we, so you have like a team. It's not just you who runs the website. Is that right?
That's a good question. Alex, there are 2 people on the site in total, but I am like the main guy for this site. But my friend, the Darkling that I mentioned in the forums, in the N64 Forever forums, he's the one now doing the administration and the behind-the-scenes stuff that no one really sees.
Oh wow! And I presume you're there often. So how much like time of day you spend on consolevariations.com?
Oh, now around the new site, like 2 hours a day.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and we are making the new site for now, I think, over 12 months. It's in developing. There's actually an alpha right now running, and I hope to go live in 2 weeks. And I'm very nervous, but I'm very excited. Because imagine if you're working something for 12 months and you publish it, and then you have to hope that people like it, you know?
Yep.
People are used to this current concept variation site, but the new one looks different, but it looks much better. Much better.
I think it's pretty cool. It's much more modern, new take on CV. Yeah, I was about to ask something about. Right. Do you have since I presume you don't receive you don't profit of the website, right?
Sorry, again, please.
You don't profit from this venture.
Actually, like, the website isn't free. You have to pay a lot of hosting costs. So all the money we make is being invested back into the site to make it better. That's basically how it is. I mean, a profit is nice, of course. I want to make, my main salary with the website, but unfortunately, it's not that, it's not on that level yet. Maybe it will, who knows? But it would be nice.
I see. And you mentioned how variations have to be reviewed manually. So I presume there were probably some incidents when people would, some not very nice people, would abuse this and send something inappropriate. Did this ever happen?
No, actually.
Oh.
We have a built-in filter, but I mean, if people, for example, right, you add a new console and you send a picture that you don't want to see on the internet,
yeah.
right? It will get filtered out, but also we can just deny and no one will ever see it.
Yeah. What's up?
But we didn't have someone on the site yet who, for example, spammed everywhere and put a lot of hate in it. We don't have it on the site, and to be honest, I'm very happy and I think quite lucky as well.
Yeah, great. And now
there's no
ideas.
Yeah. The site receives a lot of good feedback, and the new site will have more security options, that's for sure.
Oh.
But also, yeah, man, I can't wait to show everyone how the new site will be.
Yeah, some of this evil plan is already spoiled. I mean, it's kind of crazy because of how much attention the website has. Because we have people like Scott DeVos, feature your website, and
yeah,
other people.
True.
and this
We want to make a dedicated page. We want to make a dedicated page with all those big, YouTubers who credit us, but also a few people who come to mind is Hard for Games, who are specialized in prototypes in N64DD. And we work together with Did You Know Gaming, which has a lot of cool consoles and gaming facts over the world. And yeah, Scott was. We haven't talked to him directly yet. But yeah, it's always cool to get features like this.
You just remind me of something. I think it was in the console relations server, I think. So what happened was this one person, I think their nickname is Super Mario 64 DS. They sent a picture of an auction that they won, which had a Game Boy Advance that looked exactly like the one in Space World 2000 reveal. And they told me in DMs, I think, about it. And I told them to direct them to this Discord server called Rare Game Dump, which I'm still part of, because I know the guys there. They probably can tell more about it. And also that Far For Games, Donnie from it, is there. And I directed it to there, and from there it kind of spiraled on, and eventually led to Hard For Games taking his Game Boy, which is an actual prototype, like the real deal, out on the video. It's crazy because all of that would not have been possible if it was for me. Well, it was not for me. Wait, I think no, it was thanks to me, but I forgot it was from your Discord server or from somewhere else. Actually, let me find them right now. I think I should have them in my.
Sure.
Oh, I don't have them in my. That's sad, but
I think his name was Tom, right?
Who do you mean, Tony? Harvard Games.
No, his name was Tom Mario
Tom.
DS.
Oh
64.
yeah, Tom from.
Yeah, I remember him. He's a nice guy. He loves to show what he has.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. He got the Space World indeed. I know where he got it from. He got very lucky in a Japanese auction, which is very cool, and appreciated him. He shows it off like quite a bit, and it's impressive what he does.
Yeah, I'll totally be honest. I probably I try to be humble, about this whole thing. But yeah, yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very humble.
He and me as well, and you, I suppose, as well, right? You, with all this attention you have, you pretty much haven't really, changed. The people didn't recognize you on the street now when you go outside.
Maybe someday, maybe on Gamescom though, because Gamescom is coming up in 2 months. We will be there, and then maybe we will get some recognition, but who knows?
Oh, so not before. So I mean, this is despite the fact that again, people make games, make the video, people, I presume, much more people don't know your face and everything. But even though you showed it like a million times, but it's I guess I like when people are humble. I like it when they're not very I guess quiet about it. It's not like always that people who are famous, they become corrupted or something. But I mean just.
Oh, I know what you mean. No, man, I will never change.
Yeah,
I'm not. I am not famous. I don't want to be famous. I do know that I'm pretty known in the gaming community, so let's just, be it like this, and then who knows, something will change, but I will never change. And if I do, just tell me. Tell me straight to the face.
Yeah, I like that. Even, I wouldn't consider you famous or anything. After all my podcasts, it's kind of, even then, it's kind of small. If I did have someone famous, I would not have anyone famous because I'm too small. I would be like, who is this guy? I don't know him. I want to, interview. And I do wish I had, some guests. I have a few in mind. But for now, I have, my B... much more D-list guys like you, or some people who are sort of if it's a stretch you can say that you guys are more known in your communities, your bubbles, but you're not let's say, I don't know, Graham Norton or some other famous guy. You're not you barely go outside. There's a bunch of people with cameras outside. You know,
I mean, hey, if you're dedicated for it and you really want to do this, then you can do it.
yeah, you know, it's not for everyone. I mean, if someone wants it, they can do it. If someone doesn't, you know, I myself I don't want to be either as well. That's why I appreciate, you know, this humbleness, I guess, in other people, because, you know, I myself don't really want to be, you know, like that. Not like always like super bad or anything, but just because, you know, I guess I'm more of a quiet type, maybe. But yeah. So you mentioned just the Gamescom. So I remember you were on a few gaming expos before. So I presume what gaming expos were you on?
Actually, so we went to the Dutch Video Game Awards to represent a lot of prototypes and dev kits, because usually all kinds of gaming developers and the Dutch Game Awards, yeah, it's a local thing.
Never heard of that.
But of course, I think the main event will be Gamescom. It's the biggest one, and we have the most fun in there as well. Every year we see the same friends. But maybe there is one event in Zurich, in Switzerland, that we want to go to. But we are still waiting for an acceptance letter, you know?
I see.
I really want to do some more tours. I wish we could go to the E3 and stuff, you know, so something cool like this, just for the fun. However, transportation is the biggest issue. We just can't do this. It's impossible.
It would be cool if you visited my country, Ukraine, after victory. You know, we have like Comic-Con or whatever. You can be there. I think people will like you. You know, did you know that like Ukraine, we are famous in the gaming community for a lot of things, from, you know, like Stalker and, you know, big rigs over the road racing. Yeah, I wish I was joking. But you know, in retro gaming, I think the most famous person is probably Crix, the developer of the EverDrive series of cartridges, which also made in Ukraine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a funny story about the EverDrive.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Because a friend of mine probably is also known via the dumping community. His name was Luigi Blood.
Oh, I know.
And he's very active on Twitter. Yeah, I heard of him.
Also from
I purchased for him the EverDrive.
Yep.
I purchased for him an EverDrive 64, and it was last year somewhere in March. And I don't have to tell you what happened last year somewhere in March.
Yep.
But it was like 1 week before that happened, it was shipped. And because and then he was able to dump, I think, N64 DD games because of that.
Yeah.
However, if we purchased the EverDrive like 1 week after, then he would never got the EverDrive.
Yeah.
So Luigi Blood is now working like on very cool games thanks to, you know, the EverDrive that your country made.
Yeah.
So good job on making the EverDrive.
Yeah, in Russia they tried to, you know, stop 64 DD games. Think about it, to, you know, be dumped. That's crazy. Actually, I remember Crix made a special edition of the EverDrive 64, which was the Russian warship Go Fuck Yourself version, which is this very cool limited edition one. It's pretty cool, actually. I wish
Whoa!
you know, it has like the drawing like from the stamp we made. And yeah, and all the money I think went to like, you know, charities and stuff. Pretty cool, you know. And despite all of this, I think he still continues, you know, active development. I remember early on when this, you know, invasion started, his Twitter, on his Twitter, he posted about how he have a photo from his shelter, how he was like hiding. And you know, I remember myself, you know, the first time I had to go in a shelter, it was the feelings, you know, the emotions, and I can, you know, feel with him in a way. But despite all of this, you know, we carry on, and you know, he, you know, continue to work and, you know, on our things. You know, I would love to interview him maybe as well. Do you talk to him actually yourself?
No, I never talked to him.
Oh. You never did.
I never did.
Yeah, but you know, I suppose after our victory you can come, and I think, you know, even though, you know, people may not know Ukrainian gaming community outside of the forever drive, maybe. But I still think maybe somebody will recognize. Maybe even we can meet actually. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you're able to come to Gamescom or something.
I mean, actually, I can because I'm not 18 yet, and if you don't know, due to military law, if you after 18, you can't go. Like, if you're a man between 18 and 60, you can't go outside because mobilization.
Oh, right. Sorry, man. I didn't know.
No, I can still go. I'm 17, so I can still go there and. If I want to, but the thing is, I have money and stuff like that. It's a bit, yeah. So I think I can. I'm sorry, I would love to, but I think I can. But you can technically come here even now. So if you want to, you can even come now. If you don't want to wait, in Kiev or wherever you want. It's no limitation, I guess. It would be cool. Obviously, of course, there's some risks with that, but a lot of people came during war, and they're more or less okay. Probably because they were there for a short time, at most 2 weeks, but still. That's exactly how much people out of Ukraine spend in Ukraine right now.
Have you been to Comic-Con Ukraine or Comic-Con?
There's actually two I heard. There's Comic-Con Ukraine, and there's, I think, Ukraine Comic-Con. Yeah, very, confusing.
Right.
I remember an advertisement for the latter had posted about how Doc Brown himself, what's his name? Christopher Lloyd would come. It's pretty cool. But obviously, due to some stuff, and in fact, I'm not actually from Kiev. I mean, right now I do live in Kiev because stuff. But I'm actually from Odessa, that's in the south. So I would have to, take a train for a whole day there to get north, just for Comic-Con.
A whole day train. Whoa.
Actually, maybe I think my city did have a Comic-Con, not aware. But then I was pretty young at the time. I'm 17, I'm probably go, but at the time maybe not so much. Whew. Yeah, okay. Let's quick it a bit now. With the last few questions I have. So, enough about, gaming and CV in general. Actually, I should have said that. CV and gaming in general, whatever. Since you're Dutch, let's discuss some Dutch things. So, the obvious question, which I think I would ask to now everyone from any country from this point on, is what is it to be Dutch, in your opinion?
Busy, I guess. Yeah. It's I mean, it could be worse, I guess. But you have to work a long time. I think our pension is until 67.
Oh.
And the Netherlands does a lot of modern things. However, you have to pay for it.
I presume so.
The food is really good. I mean, I can tell you that the food is really good. I never had someone... I got a lot of visitors here, and I never had a visitor here that says, "Oh, no, the food is disgusting, I don't like it." No. Everyone loves the food here. The sauces, the deep fried stuff, the chocolate stuff, the cookie stuff, everything is perfect.
Yeah, that's cool. Actually, my dad was in the Netherlands once. He was in Eindhoven, and...
Eindhoven, nice.
Oh, wait, are you from Eindhoven?
No, I'm not from Eindhoven, but Eindhoven is 1.5 hours, maybe 1 hour drive, but everything is an hour drive. I think that's a good part.
Yeah, you're small, not like Ukraine. My Oblast, which is like first level division, half of it is the size of the Netherlands. Not counting overseas territories, whatever. Yeah.
My country can fit six times in your country, I think, maybe even more.
I mean, if you mean the opposite, your country is small, so Ukraine can fit 6, 6 is too little. I think you can fit 15 maybe. Netherlands, actually no,
15,
10.
I don't know.
Well,
So, just an example, to go to the deepest part of the Netherlands, traveling from the far top part of the Netherlands, right, so corner to corner,
Frisia.
it's 4 hours. It's 4 hours drive.
Yep. Wow, that's like
So it's probably a whole different compared to Ukraine, but
yeah, that's like I don't know. I can't visualize it. But yeah, that's why that's why they call us the biggest country in Europe. By size. Not counting the European part of Russia, but you know about them. That's I remember he visited the Heineken Museum when he was in the Netherlands. Of course, he did. Actually, do you drink Heineken? Or do you
I don't drink. I don't drink.
Oh, nice.
I don't drink. No.
I'm drinking.
I don't smoke either. I don't drink.
Same. I don't want
So,
no.
Good. Just a lesson for all the listeners. If you don't drink and don't smoke, then you can buy all the consoles you want.
Yeah.
Or all the games you want.
Yeah, true. Wait, I actually think you mentioned where you're from, the city. Or do you want to talk about it? Or do you?
Yeah, I come from the city called Utrecht, and it's the center of the country.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
It's the fifth biggest city in the country,
Oh, that's
and it's nice. It's prettier than Amsterdam, in my opinion.
Oh, wow. And I suppose you have been to you travel a lot in the Netherlands itself, or you don't?
There's nothing much to see. But yeah, I travel. I like to drive. Let's just say it that way. I like to drive to pick stuff up. I like to drive to friends. Yeah, driving is my thing. So traveling, sure.
I remember a story about how on the border of Netherlands and Belgium, there are these two towns, and they have the most cursed border you can imagine. The enclave after enclave, half of house is Netherlands, half is Belgium.
Yeah, true. We do. The entire Europe is basically. Well, we have no borders at all, but there are indeed some places. That's exactly like you said. This house belongs to Belgium, but this house is the Netherlands, but the house behind it belongs to Belgium, and this street belongs to. It's such a stupid mess. And I don't know where they got it from.
Actually, were you there? Did you ever visit there? Were you there?
Oh no! I haven't visited there. I do wanna visit it there just for the meme. It's so funny just to get there.
Yeah, I don't know why it's the first thing. I actually know why the first thing I thought of Netherlands, because I'm a nerd, and one of the things I'm nerd about is geography. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Ah, good. But yeah, you have a cafe which is right on the border. So one table is in the Netherlands while the other table is in Belgium and stuff. It's so stupid, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's
and that cafe is probably busy always because it's just funny to be on the border.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. But thankfully, imagine if they're thank God that you have Schengen. Well, I mean, this was before Schengen, it worked before that, but still, imagine if there were border checks in every square of there. Every time you had to switch past your house, you had to go for this border checkpoint, pass all the security checks. And then they would finally let you in.
Imagine.
That would be
that would suck a whole bunch.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once we join the EU, we'll probably have this Schengen thing. It'll be so much easier to travel. I'd love to try. I mean, I have traveled only to Slovakia. I was skiing with my family there. Pretty nice. I love it. This time ago.
Nice.
Yeah. Again. So I'm just looking at my script, and I have a question of: have you ever been interviewed before? But I understand that you were by all of these people. Actually, how many people or news organizations and interviewed you? Can you name a number? Yeah, maybe you can't, but more examples. Can you give some more examples of who interviewed you?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, people make games, obviously.
Yeah.
Then Hard for Games interviewed me,
Oh.
and let me check. It was. Oh yeah. There's a small YouTuber called Snooplex. He's
Oh, no,
also he's.
Yeah.
Oh really? You know him? Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. I love this guy. He's one of my favorite content creators, really. But yeah, we had an interview together. It was very nice. Even on this live stream, he just called me. He's like, "Okay, let's just have a cool interview." And then, yeah, sure, there you go. I had an interview with Scene World magazine, which was a German magazine, and there is a Dutch magazine called Power Unlimited, and I had an interview with them as well. Yeah, it's more for blog articles and stuff like that when I sell something rare or when I own something rare, and then nothing really YouTube-ish. But yeah, it's plenty of fun. I think maybe 20 times. Maybe 20 times.
Actually, this made me think. Do you have like some kind of like, maybe not, like some kind of like feelings for how like people usually like care about more of like the rare consoles? They're more like, your like website or you as a person, or do you not feel that?
So, just repeat the question.
Like, do you feel a bit some kind of like any feelings really about how people sometimes may care more about like your consoles? I mean your rare like consoles rather than like your website or you maybe. Do you have any like that feelings?
No, not really.
Oh, that's nice.
No, I don't think so. No. Just
yeah. Well, I appreciate that as well, considering who you are. Okay, so the probably final question, at least final one on my script. So, how's it like being at the center of attention in this whole golden Wii thing? Because I understand you're not really you don't really feel like a famous guy, but what do you then instead feel like? What's it like being like a center of attention? Like really?
That's a very good question. Holy shit.
Yeah.
First, I liked it because it gives a feeling of accomplishment. When you achieve something, and then people come to you about questions about how, what, who, where, that it feels like you did it. It gives a good feeling. But over time, when you have a bigger collection and you basically spend more and you invest more about, you work hard for it, then I became more private. I never post my stuff what I purchase online anymore. I don't show off anymore about what I have. Only the extremely rare ones that I want people to see. Not that I own it, but that it exists. Like, for example, I have a prototype of the GameCube. I have the GameCube from Space World 2000.
Oh, yeah.
Which only...
That.
Yeah, one is surface, and I have it. And I think it's... The people in the world should know that it still exists, and how it looks from the inside, and, the Cypress and comparison. And that's the stuff I want to share. I don't want to share, look what I bought. And soon, I hope, another grill will pop up, and that's something I can buy.
Yeah, then again, the cycle will repeat. You once again.
And then again, the cycle repeats, and unfortunately, there comes a time when I say, yeah, okay, I have to let it go. But even, it was difficult, right? People PM CV, like, hey, I have this rare console and I can sell it, but I don't know where. Are you interested? And sometimes we check and like, oh shit, it's actually a very rare Nintendo. Yeah, let's go. I'll buy it. But then a week later, you get another offer, and a week later, you get another offer, and eventually you just can't afford it anymore.
Yeah.
So some stuff we really had to let go, and which is unfortunately, but hey, that's life.
Can you tell us about any
And
such deals you were proposed? About?
sorry.
Can you tell us about any such like deals you had to turn down?
Yeah, there was a. Oh, this is pretty funny. There's a Tony Hawk's Xbox.
Oh, I know.
It was. I can. I'll send it to you, so you have an idea how it looks.
I see. It's a 360, right? Oh, it's not. It's the original Xbox.
It's yeah. Tony Hawk's Underground 2, and someone emailed us like, hey, I want this on the radio show, and but I don't know what to do with it, and if you want, I can sell it to you. And we thought, hey, this is a cool thing. Maybe we know someone who we can make happy, and then we can post it anywhere. But the cool thing was the owner of this Xbox was not a collector. He was just joining the radio show or some other show to just for fun and to win, and he actually won it. And as you can maybe see on the second picture, you see that the CD tray is clear. It's not the same color orange as the console was made in.
Oh.
And I asked him about it, like, hey, why is the CD tray clear and not orange? Is it damaged or something? And he told me no. He told me that he used this Xbox, that are only 10 made in the world, he used this as a DVD player for 20 years. And the tray was, it was coated at first, but because he used it all the time for 20 years, it's faded.
Oh. And what color was it?
So
then.
Yeah, the color originally was orange, but because he used it as a DVD player for 20 years. He never played it as an Xbox console. So the CD tray, he pushed it close, for 20 years straight, so it got faded.
Wow.
So yeah, we unfortunately had to turn this down because we didn't have the funds to buy it, and I'm not sure if he was able to sell it or not.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it was that's a great example of stuff we couldn't take.
Wait.
That's pretty cool too. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently there are 10 of them. So there's still maybe out there. Like maybe there is a chance. You could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a chance that he still has it, or there's a chance that he sold it. I don't know.
There are others as well. Yeah, that's. Yeah, and this is, I guess, the joy. You find this, one of a kind, rare, items, and stuff in series. I love it. Anyway, it's been like about 10 minutes past what I wanted this podcast to end. Actually, if I check on OBS, I've been recording for about how much? An hour and 7 minutes. Wow. But hey, I like it. Thank you, Don, for joining me here. For taking the time to be interviewed as a second episode of my show. I said this in the first episode, but if you look at my YouTube channel, I have two earlier pilot attempts at a podcast, and both of them went nowhere beyond the first episode because I kind of was like, didn't like them really. And now I can finally have at least a show that will at least last 2 episodes. And I think
great.
And about I think right now this will become the how do you say this? This will become the longest running series on my channel in about I think 3, 2, 1. There we go. Now it's the longest.
Whoa.
Wow. Well, yeah. But thank you I just we were talking to Donnie from consolerations.com. Again, thank you. Now to Extra Dish, and today on Extra Dish I want to talk about a very interesting community I found called Songfight. Now, what is Songfight, you may ask? Songfight is a weekly competition where folk have to submit a song that has something to do with a given title, and other people vote for the best one for this title. And it's been going on since the year 2000. That's 23 years. And, that's more than me. Oh, wait, I just made the adults in the audience feel old. Anyway, so I've looked into it and listened to some songs, and I'm honestly impressed by what people can, write and sing and compose and all that. And, I'm honestly in love with the idea. I think it's pretty cool. I actually leave the link to the website in the description of this video, so that, more people will, I guess, like it, enjoy it, vote, listen, make whatever. That's the spirit of the Songfight. Anyway, that's it for this episode, episode 2 of As the World Crumbles. I hope you liked this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I guess I'll see you later then. See ya. Goodbye.
Bye.